Best NFL Player from Each Jersey Number Part 3.
Today, we will continue our ongoing series of the best NFL players to wear each jersey number in league history, tackling the jersey numbers 20 to 29. If some of your favorite players of all time wore number 0 to 19, make sure to check out parts 1 and 2 of the series to see if they made the cut. Up first is one of the most talented running backs that the game has ever seen. 1. Number 20, Barry Sanders. If Barry Sanders had not called it a career as early as he did, there is a chance that many more would look at him as the top running back of all time. He joined the league as the third overall pick in the 1989 NFL Draft, selected by the Detroit Lions, where he spent the entirety of his 10 years in the league. In that time, he was named to the Pro Bowl team, the All-Pro team 6 times, won the 1997 MVP award, the 1989 Offensive Rookie of the Year award, the overall 1989 Rookie of the Year award, the Offensive Player of the Year award 2 times, made the Hall of Fame All-1990s team, and was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2004. Over his decade-long career, Sanders recorded 15,269 yards and 99 touchdowns on the ground. Along with this, he also picked up 2,921 yards and 10 touchdowns as a receiver as well. He currently ranks 4th all-time in career rushing yards, 10th in rushing touchdowns, 12th in yards per carry, 2nd in rushing yards per game, 19th in touchdowns, 7th in yards from scrimmage, and 11th in all-purpose yards. Representing number 21 is one of the best all-around athletes of all time. 2. Number 21, Deion Sanders. We likely will never see an athlete like Deion Sanders again. Along with being one of the best players in the NFL through his prime, he also spent time playing in the MLB as well. As a football player, he was extremely versatile, playing defensive back on defense and wide receiver on the offensive side of the ball. He joined the NFL as the 5th overall pick in the 1989 NFL Draft, selected by the Atlanta Falcons. Through his 14 years in the league, he spent time playing for the Falcons, San Francisco 49ers, Dallas Cowboys, Washington Redskins, and Baltimore Ravens. In that time, he was named to the Pro Bowl 8 times, the All-Pro team 6 times, won 2 Super Bowl titles, the 1994 Defensive Player of the Year award, made the Hall of Fame All-1990s team, and was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2011. As a cornerback, Deion recorded 53 interceptions, 9 pick-sixes, 10 forced fumbles, 13 fumble recoveries, 1 that he returned for a touchdown, 512 tackles, and 20 tackles for loss. As a return man, he recorded 5,722 yards and 9 touchdowns. Finally, as a wide receiver, he had 60 receptions for 784 yards and 3 touchdowns. He currently sits at 2nd place for all-time non-offensive touchdowns, 31st in kick return touchdowns, 9th in punt return touchdowns, 24th in interceptions, 4th in interceptions return yards, and 5th in interception return touchdowns. Up next is another generational running back to represent number 22. 3. Number 22, Emmitt Smith. Emmitt Smith was one of the top running backs of his era. He joined the league as the 17th overall pick in the 1990 NFL Draft, selected by the Dallas Cowboys. In his 15 years in the league, he would play for the Cowboys and Arizona Cardinals. In that time, he was named to the Pro Bowl 8 times, the All-Pro team 4 times, won 3 Super Bowl titles, 1 Super Bowl MVP award, the 1993 MVP award, 1990 Offensive Rookie of the Year award, was named to the Hall of Fame All-1990s team, and was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2010. He recorded 18,355 yards and 164 touchdowns on the ground, along with 3,224 yards and 11 touchdowns as a receiver. He currently ranks 1st all-time in career rushing attempts, 1st in rushing yards, 1st in rushing touchdowns, 2nd in touchdowns, and 4th in all-purpose yards. Representing number 23 is arguably the greatest return man of all time. 4. Number 23, Devin Hester. While he spent time as a wide receiver, most know Devin Hester as the most dangerous return man that the game has ever seen. He joined the league as the 57th overall pick of the 2006 NFL Draft, selected by the Chicago Bears. Throughout his 12 years in the league, he would play for the Bears, Atlanta Falcons, Baltimore Ravens, and Seattle Seahawks. He was named to the Pro Bowl 4 times, the All-Pro team 3 times, was named to the Hall of Fame All-2000s team, the Hall of Fame All-2010s team, and there is a strong chance that once he becomes eligible to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, he will be. As a receiver, he recorded 3,311 yards and 16 touchdowns. In his 315 career punt returns, he would gain 3,695 yards and 14 touchdowns. In his 295 kick returns, he would record 7,333 yards and 5 touchdowns. He ranks first all-time in career non-offensive touchdowns, 46th in all-purpose yards, 12th in kick return yards, 9th in kick return touchdowns, 3rd in punt return yards, and 1st in punt return touchdowns. With the return game being limited more and more every year as a result of rule changes, there is a strong chance that some of his records will never be broken. Representing number 24 is a player that gave opposing quarterbacks and wide receivers nightmares for years. 5. Number 24, Darrelle Revis. Darrelle Revis is one of the most talented cornerbacks of all time. He could shut down everyone, and most quarterbacks opted to just not throw the ball on the same side of the field he was on. He entered the league as the 14th overall pick in the 2007 NFL Draft, selected by the New York Jets. Along with the Jets, he spent time playing for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, New England Patriots, and Kansas City Chiefs throughout his 11 years in the league. In that time, he was named to the Pro Bowl 7 times, the All-Pro team 4 times, won 1 Super Bowl title, was named to the Hall of Fame All-2010s team, and was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2023. In his incredible career, he recorded 29 interceptions, 3 pick-sixes, 139 passes defended, 4 forced fumbles, 496 tackles, 9 tackles for loss, and 4 quarterback hits. Currently, he ranks 19th in passes defended. While his all-time ranks do not stack up against some of the other top talents at the position, this comes as a result of just how much opposing quarterbacks refused to throw to the wide receiver Revis was covering. Up next is one of the best wide receivers of the 70s. 6. Number 25, Fred Biletnikoff. Fred Biletnikoff joined the league as the 11th overall pick of the 1965 AFL Draft, selected by the Oakland Raiders, where he spent the entirety of his 14 years in the league. While he came into the league wearing number 14, this would be short-lived as he switched to 25 in his 3rd season in the league. Through his illustrious career, he was named to the Pro Bowl 6 times, the All-Pro team 2 times, won 1 Super Bowl title, 1 AFL championship, 1 Super Bowl MVP award, and was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1988. He recorded 589 receptions, 8,974 yards, and 76 touchdowns. Currently, Biletnikoff ranks 74 all-time in career receiving yards, 36th in touchdowns, and 78th in total touchdowns. This was an era in which passing was not nearly as prevalent as it is today, and there is a strong chance that his numbers would look much better if he played in today's era. Representing number 26 is one of the most feared defensive backs of all time. 7. Number 26, Rod Woodson. Rod Woodson was one of the best defensive backs the game has ever seen. He entered the league as the 10th overall pick in the 1987 NFL Draft, selected by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Along with the Steelers, he would also spend time with the San Francisco 49ers, Baltimore Ravens, and Oakland Raiders during his 17 years in the league. In that time, he was named to the Pro Bowl 11 times, the All-Pro team 6 times, won 1 Super Bowl title, the 1993 Defensive Player of the Year award, made the Hall of Fame All-1990s team, and was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2009. He recorded 71 interceptions, 12 pick-sixes, 20 forced fumbles, 1 fumble returned for a touchdown, 1,058 tackles, and 10 tackles for loss. Along with this, he would also be a dangerous return man. He finished his career with 2,362 yards and 2 touchdowns on punt returns and 4,894 yards and 2 touchdowns on kick returns. Woodson currently ranks 3rd all-time in career non-offensive touchdowns, 39th in kick return yards, 57th in kick return touchdowns, 28th in punt return yards, 94th in punt return touchdowns, 29th in fumbles recovered, 3rd in interceptions, and 1st in pick-sixes. Up next is another generational talent at the defensive back position. 8. Number 27, Steve Atwater. Steve Atwater was one of the hardest-hitting defensive backs of his generation, earning him the nickname of the Smiling Assassin. He joined the league as the 20th overall pick of the 1989 NFL Draft, selected by the Denver Broncos. Along with the Broncos, he would play for the New York Jets. In his 11 years in the league, Atwater made the Pro Bowl 8 times, the All-Pro team 2 times, won 2 Super Bowl titles, was named to the Hall of Fame All-1990s team, and was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2020. Throughout his career, he recorded 24 interceptions, 1 pick six, 6 forced fumbles, and 1,188 tackles. Currently, he ranks 38th all-time in combined tackles. However, due to him only playing 11 years, he would not stack up as well to some of the other all-time greats in terms of career rankings. Representing number 28 is one of the toughest running backs to tackle in NFL history. 9. Number 28, Marshall Faulk. Marshall Faulk was arguably the glue that held the greatest show on turf together, and he was the definition of consistency. He joined the league as the 2nd overall pick of the 1994 NFL Draft, selected by the Indianapolis Colts. Along with the Colts, he would also spend time playing for the St. Louis Rams. In his 12 years in the league, he was named to the Pro Bowl 7 times, the All-Pro team 3 times, won 1 Super Bowl title, the 2000 MVP award, 3 Offensive Player of the Year awards, the 1994 Offensive Rookie of the Year award, and was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2011. Through his career, he totaled 12,279 yards and 100 touchdowns on the ground. Along with this, he also recorded 6,875 yards and 36 touchdowns as a pass catcher. Currently, Faulk ranks 12th all-time in career rushing yards, 8th in rushing touchdowns, 40th in receptions, 7th in touchdowns, and 5th in yards from scrimmage. Rounding out this stretch of the list is another all-time great running back. 10. Number 29, Eric Dickerson. Eric Dickerson was truly a special talent. He had statistically the best single-season stretch from a running back when he went for 2,105 yards in only 16 games. He joined the league as the 2nd overall pick of the 1983 NFL Draft, selected by the Los Angeles Rams. Along with the Rams, he would also suit up for the Indianapolis Colts, Oakland Raiders, and Atlanta Falcons. Throughout his incredible 12 years in the league, he would be named to the Pro Bowl 6 times, the All-Pro team 5 times, won the 1986 Offensive Player of the Year award, the 1983 Offensive Rookie of the Year award, the 1983 Overall Rookie of the Year award, made the Hall of Fame All-1980s team, and was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1999. Throughout his career, he recorded 13,259 yards and 90 touchdowns on the ground and 2,137 yards and 6 touchdowns as a pass catcher. Currently, Dickerson ranks 9th all-time in career rushing yards, 13th in rushing touchdowns, 4th in rushing yards per game, 26th in touchdowns, and 18th in yards from scrimmage.